Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Sunday night live show with Pot Squatch Growers. 1 second here. I think my lens on my little cinema phone was a little dirty. It's a little better, but there we go. Welcome to the show, everybody. Nobody's here yet, but that's all right. Normally takes a minute or two for people to show up, but welcome. Let's get live streaming. Yes. Logan the Zero, what's happening, my friend? What's crack-a-lacking? Yo, yo, yo. I'm doing well. Stomach feels a little weird today, not great, but other than that, I'm good. A little tired. We've still been battling very hard to quickly get the corruption issues fixed. I think we're like two steps away. I'm hoping maybe tomorrow we'll have all the corruption lines for the part of the online page for the lights all fixed, but it's been a headache, and I'm kind of out of my control. I'm not a computer guy or a programmer, so. What's up, Daniel Fish? What's up, Sticky Bee Garden? How you doing? What's up, Mike Bird, Safer Ride Guy? Yeah. What's up, Tones Montoya? Tones Montoya, there we go. How you doing, my friend? Michael Kennedy was crack-lacking. Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Sunday? I hope everyone's weekend has been enjoyable and went fairly well. What's up, Jared Hempfield? I'm doing well. How you doing? What's up, Simple Vapes? How's it going? What's up, Crying Owl, my fellow bearded one? How are you? I'm doing all right. What's up, Adam Squatch? Welcome to the Hizzy. Grass in Class. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Grass in Class. Your name reminds me of high school. I spent most of my high school career quite stoned. I'll admit that. Oh, there's the puppies being rambunctious in the background, as they typically tend to do. What are you going to do, little puppies? Oh, I'm doing not too bad, Simple Vapes, doing well. Hating computers and technology, but we're like basically there, I think, in terms of fixing the corruption coding lines for the light launch on the webpage, so it should be done tomorrow. I feel like I've been saying that forever now. But it's just one of those things. I mean, I'm not a computer guy. It's kind of out of my hands. I would love it if I could go in and fix coding, but that's not my strong suit. I'm an actor, writer, comedian, filmmaker who knows how to grow weed titties. So, pretty good at drinking too. Know what I'm saying? Dude, Mike Bird, Safer Ride Guy. Dude, that's awesome. You're doing a wonderful service to society. Out where I live, along the number 7 highway, this stretch of the highway from here, and then down towards Vancouver. Once it starts on the 7 and kind of goes up to Harrison, there we call it the highway of death. Motherfuckers be dying all the time. Most of the time, our power outages at my house. Well, often it can be weather too, because there's only like one single line that sort of feeds to where I live. But more often than not, it's a drunk person driving into a power pole. Let's not lie to ourselves. But it's very frustrating. That's why when we moved out here for the new lab and now own a little housey, as it were, we had something like 7 or 8 power outages in the first 2 weeks. And I got so fed up with that I was like, I cannot be a grower out here and grow my medicine without having a backup generator. So I had to get one of those. What's up, Deborah, sister? What's cracking? Logan Lucero, it sounds like they were not properly stabilized, and so they're probably not autos. They are more than likely traditional photos. Switch to a 12-12. Wait, do you say they're outside? Are they inside or outside, Logan Lucero? If they're inside, flip those. If they're outside, do some light depo and see if you can trigger it. Okay, Logan, it's time to switch to 12-12, my friend. If it's been 4 months and you're not having any even tiny titties on there, I would say that more than likely they do not have the required auto-flowering genetic stabilized within the phenotypes of the seeds that you are using. It's time to flip it and get your titties. What bud from Coude? I don't understand, Dansed 1000. Can I ask what you mean? Caterpillars can be a major fucking dick. I'm trying to think of what the best natural ways to deal with caterpillars is. I mean, I know that they start off as really tiny bugs, but I don't know if ladybugs will eat them. I know that praying mantises will. If you can get some praying mantises, they'll definitely go after those fuckers. Um, if any of you out there have a few suggestions as well, because like again, certain bugs I know a fair bit about these days, especially after moving out here to the woods, so I've had to kind of like learn a lot more. Caterpillars are one I've never personally had to deal with. So if anyone has any tricks for Dan's 1000 here, let's wasps. Good point, actually, Case. Now that you say that, wasps do eat caterpillars and their larvae and etc. So good fucking tip there. All right, so we got to get some wasps up in your hizzy, man. We got to get you some wasps, man. Tack wasps with laser guided heads. Adam Squatch wants to build an Ant-Man suit so that, all of us can go into our gardens and take on the bugs one-on-one, shrink down to their size and give them hell. Fun idea, but man, think of the money we're going to have to spend to try to figure that one out, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That makes sense, Deborah. Praying mantises, I know, will go nuts on them, and it's kind of cool to watch. Kind of gruesome, but kind of cool. And to be fair, how wasps do it are pretty cool too. Dan's 1000. If you're not, so wait, are you flowering these yet, or you're not flowering yet? I think have they not started to flower? Bud, buddy, I typically drop my temperatures quite low. For the last week, I super chill them at night. Hell, sometimes I super chill them in veg even, because I find that long-term chilly at night, then warm during the day, kind of really makes some really nice resins and rosins. Well, essential oils that will become rosin when I press it in the weed titty. I'm dropping it down to, for the last week, maybe like 7 to 10 degrees centigrade if you can. Is really good. And then when I go into my 48 hours of chill, I'll drop it sometimes as close to zero as I can bloody get it. In the summer, that's obviously a little hard. Even with the 14,000 BTU AC that I do have integrated into that room and setup, it's a little bit hard. You know what I'm saying? Charles Patterson, not true. You can spray certain organic, natural products up to midway in flower. Jake's All-in-One's one of them. Not advisable. I prefer not to do it, but I'm just saying that you can, in theory, do that with certain products. Never spray during flower with chemicals, obviously, but certain natural products you can get away with up until a certain point within the flowering window. Okay, so you've already got buds, though, on them, eh, Danst? Because if you've already got buds, yeah, definitely don't go using an insecticide. Jared Hempfield, ladybugs, neem, etc. failing. Blasted diatomaceous earth with my air compressor and foliar spray have killed most, but you think my flowers are only for edibles? Well, if you've been spraying your buds with DE, they're going to be chock filled with DE. That shit's like fucking like poof, it goes everywhere. You could do a bud washing on them. I don't like doing that, but if it's what you got to do, technically it is just silica, and as long as it's a food grade diatomaceous earth, I don't think it necessarily is an issue. I would have used some Jake's myself, especially if it was only mild, because Jake's works really good for that shit. I always talk about Jake's just because I've never actually met a product that has this many uses that's all natural and works really well, right? So, I fucking love that. Have I or do you or have you grown NYD? If so, which NYD? Haven't heard of it unless you mean New York City Diesel. And if you mean New York City Diesel, I have helped people grow it. I've smoked it. It can be a little finicky. It's not necessarily a beginner strain in terms of ease of growth. It can be some pretty rockin' shit. I'm not a sativa guy, and that's a sativa dominant, so it's not really for me personally. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily like a super advanced strain either. It'd be kind of like midway. So just know it's not the most straightforward strain, but it's not like some of the strains out there that could be trickier than fuck. You know what I'm saying? Hey, a random hero 77. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And we appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, Jake's is the shit. I love it. It's great shit. But thank you for the love and thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate that. Check out our website. Eventually, there will be a community page on that website as well. I've been battling a bunch of other things. We're trying to get the lights up and the website, all that going, as well as taking care of a few things in terms of both figuring out all of the laws that I have to do here for taxes and stuff, and then figuring out international tax stuff because of the co-partnership between my company and Soulstrip. And so I've been a little busy, but I'm hoping to get that up on the website really soon. We got the hats, t-shirts, rolling papers, hopefully in by the end of next week. Lights, if we're really lucky, launch tomorrow. And then that'll be up all there, so you can find them through there as well. And yeah, I'm hoping in the next week or two to do the first cooking show. For the cooking show, we're going to do it fairly simple for the first one. 1 second. Puppies, it is okay. Anyway. For the first cooking show, I'm thinking I'm just going to make a giant batch of can of butter. We'll go over that with you. I'll make a big batch of it so I can keep it in the fridge or the freezer so I can use it for further cooking shows. And just make a bunch of it, get that out of the way so we don't have to do that every time. And then what we can also do, leave the cat alone. They're bullying the cat. There you go, buddy. Got to let the cat into his den. And then we're going to do an old-fashioned space cake, I think, for that one. So we're going to do just sort of like an old school brownie kind of chocolate space cake for the first cooking episode. Keep it really simple. And then we're going to really start stepping it up. We'll do soups. We'll do a full 4 or 5 course meal where we infuse everything everywhere we can. I'm thinking about eventually having some guests on the show as well. So while we're doing the cooking and preparing it, we could be talking to them, talking to everyone else. And then, then they'll eat it, and I'll see how high they get. That'd be funny. I think that'd be really cool to sort of do that. That's part of the fun, right? So, no, you did not, Major Lynch. I am right here, my friend. K-Steer, yeah, it's not really a hugely known product, but Jake's is the shit. It's a local Canadian product made here in BC. The Grobo machine. Handy F? No, I don't. What kind of machine is it? I may know about the certain type of machine it may be. I've never heard of it, though. What's up, Lesha? How you doing? Oh, the puppies are good. They're doing well. They're bullying the cat because they're mean. They always do that. Texas Pete into his ear. What's up, buddy? What's up, eat chicken? How's it going? I did not eat chicken today. I wish I did. Dr. Dan 420, what's up, my friend? Dr. Dan 420, the Pro Mix that I use is about 20% cocoa. So where I haven't gone a 50-50 split, I wouldn't go a 50-50 split because I prefer having at maximum maybe a 20% cocoa in there, which does help with aeration, it helps with drainage, it helps with a lot of positive things. But there is no inherent nutrition to cocoa. And I don't like hitting my plants too hard right away. So I like there to be a bit of a soil base that does have a sort of a nutrient base for them to start with in order for them to kind of basically take care of themselves for a while before I really have to kind of step up my feeding regimes and start hitting them with a bunch of shit. So I advise it. It works well. The one thing to remember with cocoa, whether you're going straight cocoa or intermixing it with soil, cocoa in and of itself is inherently can come with thrips. So you have to be prepared for that. You have to treat for that and just be prepared for that. So thank you, Deborah. I appreciate it. Much love to you, my friend. One second here. I'm trying to read messages. It's a hydroponic machine. Handy F, I have not tried it. Typically, if you're not the most handy person, definitely buying a pre-made kit is really good. Look at reviews is always the biggest thing when it comes to stuff like that. However, hydroponic systems aren't really that hard to make. So if you're a little bit technically inclined and feel creative and feel like having some fun and some adventures and doing some adult arts and crafts, you can even build your own. So they're not that hard. Have you ever heard of the BC Northern Lights Bloom Box pot squatch? Is it a self-contained growing unit? Because I haven't heard of that one specifically, but I have seen a lot of them that I don't really advocate. I find them vastly overpriced units that don't work that well. I've yet to see one that really, really works well. At the end of the day, you're vastly better off just kind of doing it the old school way. Yes, there are a lot of cool ones now where you can use your phone to control stuff and this or that. That is not growing cannabis. I don't advocate that. Part of growing cannabis and growing the best cannabis you can is being intimate with it, getting hands-on with it, and taking the proper time to do things. So they can be great, I guess, if you want to be away from your grow a lot. But so I haven't checked out theirs, though. I'd be happy if you've got a link. Email me a link to that Eat Chicken. I'll take a look at it. I'll read what their breakdown says, and I'll give you my honest 2 cents on it. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Fakuto McCool, what's up? What's up, Toker188? What's up, Chef Life 420? Chef Life, I believe we have finally, as of today, fixed the corruption issues in terms of the initial HTML coding to access the back end of all the website stuff. So I'm hoping, fingers fucking crossed, it's up tomorrow. To be honest, I'm so sick of saying that. It's been hard. It's been hard waiting because I thought they would release 9 or 10 days ago. But I am not a computer programmer, not a computer guy. Build you a computer, but that's about it. But so simply put, I'm kind of stuck in the same boat as everyone, just waiting to hear from the developers when everything's all fixed. But I believe that it's fixed now. We have access to the back end, and we can now just launch that. So I'm pretty sure we're pretty much there. But I'm hoping for the best. Bloody hell. Okay, hit us with the question, Aussie Big Buds. Awesome, Deborah. Thank you very much. They are going to be great, and I'm really stoked to put them in. We got to get ours up fairly soon as well in the lab there because they're almost as tall as I am, some of them, and I'm running out of space. So I'm gonna have to flip fairly soon. I'll tie some of them down on those Afghanis, but even the violators are getting fairly large at the moment too. So we're definitely probably gonna have to end up doing some very creative tying in terms of the fullness of this run, just given that these are definitely the tallest plants we've ever grown in this space and on the channel. Well, maybe not the tallest plants in the channel. I grew some fairly big ones in that closet. The Platinum Cookies God Bud, the Donkey Penis Bud strain that we did way back when on the channel. But yeah, no, it's getting close. I gotta flip them soon. But I don't really want to flip until we install our new lights. So kind of wanting to do that. Okay, so Aussie Big Bud says need/want a full grow of her. So what temp is good? Do I pH the water I'm using? Rock? Whoa, wait. Did I miss part of this? Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm taking clones tonight. I have lots of experience, but want tips to sharpen up this strain. Doesn't like cloning. Okay, well, one, Aussie Big Buds, definitely making sure you're scraping down, making sure there's nodal sites on the part you're scraping. Because having that nodal site there is going to really help provide that new root growth. Scraping it down is good. And if you've got a stubborn strain, don't fully split it open, okay? But you can even cut little thin grooves down it to try to help that penetration to the interior of the stem. Without knowing how she behaves when trying to clone her, it's a little harder than that. Maybe you need a humidity dome. Maybe you don't, though, right? Maybe that was the issue. Maybe it was too much humidity for her. Take a hell of a lot of cuttings too, you know what I'm saying? And just play the numbers game because some will eventually work out, you know what I'm saying? So go for that would be my suggestion on that, my friend. Yeah. Oh, no. The lights work totally fine. The lights are perfect and ready to go. The lights aren't the issue. It's the website that's proving to be a major pain in the ass, which is the co-landing page between me and Soulstrip there. We've been having some corruption issues in terms of the coding for all of that, so our developers are working on that. I think we've got it fixed, but I mean, I don't know. We'll find out. I just have really good luck with computers, it seems, too, because when we set up the Shopify, there was a bunch of weird screw-ups happening on the coding on their website as well. I just have really good luck. And like when I was talking to Shopify, they were like, yeah, we've never seen our website do that since we've been a company. And I was like, well, that's great. Oh, I am a professional comedian, Eat Chicken. I mean, I don't do a lot of shows often. Pretty busy doing most of the things that I do. I would say I'm probably an actor first, but I am a comedian. For example, our pilot that we made that we're hoping to get eventually picked up is a comedic sitcom. But yes, I am a stand-up comedian. Don't typically write bits. I kind of just wing it. I'll decide often what I'm going to talk about. Sometimes I won't, and I don't like to go first. I'll sit there, I'll absorb the audience, have a few drinks, smoke a little dope, and then I'll get up there and see what happens. Did it a lot more when I was younger. Yes, Adam Squatch, it will become quite possibly a BDSM porno in there. I'm not going to lie to you. Noob Grower 420. I thought about trying the Octopot. I like the fact that it's soil that uses the wick effect from a water reservoir at the bottom. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, Noob Grower 420. Totally, definitely interesting. However, you got to remember from the bottom, especially when in terms of doing feeding, those are often your newer roots that are less prone to, or more prone to burning, etc. That's where a lot of that new growth is still happening. So by feeding through the bottom, you might run a risk of scorching your roots that way. That's why I prefer doing a top feed on my shit, just because I know I'm pouring it on the oldest of the roots, and then that allows it to naturally filter its way down as it goes through, if that makes sense. Can a person from an illegal state send seeds to a non... Wait, what? Can a person from... Okay, you meant a legal state send seeds to a non-legal state. I am not 100% versed in American law. I'm going to say it's probably federally highly illegal to do. Would be my best guess. But I don't know American law. This is just me making an educated guess as someone who comes from a country that has similar laws often. I would guess that that's probably very illegal to do. So be careful. Ham Slayer, not really. No, it's kind of a dinky little toy light, to be honest. It's probably the best light they've ever released, but that doesn't make it good though. So yeah, no, I wouldn't waste my time with it because I wasn't really happy. My nugs came out kind of airy. I did do about a gram of watt on it, but my nugs were a little airy. A lot of my secondary nugs were really airy, so I just threw them right into the fucking bag to make hash, to make rosin. All the stems were hollow, which they weren't on the same exact clones under my other lights. Same feeding, same everything. So yeah, and they came out with a weird color, like the trichromes, and the color of the actual flower compared to the other flowers was a little weird too. So I would say, don't waste your time using a dinky toy light if you can avoid it. It's a great thing for a new grower who doesn't want to spend tons of cash and wants to just kind of try their hand at stuff before they go spend the money. So I would say it's good for that maybe, but that's about it. What's up, Srel Howicks? Welcome, my friend. Okay, Pete G says seeds aren't illegal in the States, so I guess then if that's true, then you should be good, Deborah, but I am unsure. But as long, I mean, Pete says they're not illegal, so then I guess it should be okay. Thank you, Noob Grower 420. So I guess, Deborah, I guess the answer to your question from our fellow pot squatches who live in the States who know are saying that it should be okay. So you should be copacetic, girl. Rock and roll. What's my opinion on using worm casting nutrients? It's supposed to be good for flowering and budding, but I don't know. And worm casting, good worm casting is one of the quintessential components of organic gardening. Using it in congruency with different back guanos. Like for example, my super soils that I make definitely have worm castings in them. They have 3 different types of back guanos that I mix at different layers for different sort of parts of the life cycle. Blood meal, bone meal, and a bunch of other wonderful shit. So yeah, no, worm castings are good. Just be careful. They can be extremely hot. So don't go burning your plants. Be careful with them. What's up, Pond Squatch? How am I doing? I'm doing well. Challenge me 242. How are you doing? Oh, well, thank you, Eat Chicken. One of these days, maybe I'll end up remembering to ask someone to record it for me. Pants are to toner. Huh, what? Is that what you meant to ask? Pants are to toner as what is to what? Or was it just a mistap, Chef Life? Hey, no worry, Aussie Big Buds. We love you too. Much love, my fellow pot squatch, and keep it sexy. Maybe you want to post your email if anyone wants to email Aussie Big Buds about what he was talking about. So there we go. K-Star. Oh, well, thank you very much, K-Star. I really appreciate that. I think that's definitely part of why I made the channel the way I did. Is I am an actor, writer, comedian, filmmaker. I'm like this, like with weird voices and all that crap all the time. Ask my wife. It's true. So basically, I didn't want to make another monotone channel where I was like, this is my marijuana, and I'm going to do this now, and today I topped it, because then every video is exactly the fucking same. Not saying you can't teach that way, but I just don't find that really a positive way to, one, build interest, two, you should make learning fun. Plus, I'm just like this no matter what I'm doing, pretty much, whether I'm on set, whether I'm at work, whether I'm doing the consultations through the company that we offer now that are for sale on our website. I mean, I keep it fun, I keep it sexy. While at the same time, I could be serious and professional as well, but yeah. But thank you very much, K-Star. I really appreciate that. One second, everybody. I'm just reading here. Octopot. That's where, or sorry, Noob Grower talking about Octopot. That's where I'd be questioning its actual practicality for cannabis, because what we normally feed is required, right? So just because you're feeding from a different spot doesn't mean your plant doesn't need the same amount of nutrients. So it might end up harming your overall yield and quality of product at the end, would be a guess. And plus, you're definitely running a risk of burning your shit. Wait, My Light or Mars? What? No, My Light's to the shit. Mars sucks. Sorry, Chef Life. I'm not trying to be, I don't want to be mean here, but like, it's a dinky toy light. I was not talking about mine. Sticky Fingers. Spectrum King? No. Well, I've heard of them, never worked with them. I'm assuming they're fairly similar to a bunch of the other lights that I've used in the past. So, and anything for $80 is like, I mean, especially if you're on your budget, right? Like, it's like, start amassing your equipment and sort of going from somewhere to somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Chef Life, I'm confused. What are you saying? I'm confused. What's up, Big Tree Farms? Welcome to the Sunday Night Live Show. Hemp Slayer, the little squatch light that we are hopefully launching tomorrow, if the programming's done, is a vastly superior option to the TS 1000 watt light. Slightly more wattage draw. It does cost a little bit more, but it's going to run for, it's like the diodes on this thing are from Samsung. They are rated for 50,000 hours. It is using Meanwell driver. It is the better, superior option, and it's not that much more. And really, at the end of the day, if you're going to go spend money on something, I'm a big advocate of get the best thing you can afford at the time, because when it comes to equipment, you basically get what you pay for. In terms of LEDs that are kind of the professional grade tech, that's often marked up way too high, because a lot of companies are charging $2 to $3 a watt, which is bullshit. That's why we have done what we needed to do to bring top quality parts at an affordable price, which was basically just cutting all the meat of the markup off. And so we just make a little bit per each unit that we sell, but that's kind of part of our mantra, really, of what we're wanting to do. So, I mean, and that's not me just banging my own drum. I'm talking literally as someone who's an objective grower who tried the Mars TS 1000. And part of why we've been working really hard to accelerate this and getting everything out there ASAP is to offer people a reliable alternative to the bullshit that is their stuff. So SK300, is that a strain, Chef Life? I'm a little confused. I've never been to Japan, but I have seen videos. I've had a lot of friends from Japan. I'd love to check out Japan one day, for sure. I like the food. Bring on the beef yakisoba. I don't even know if that's a real Japanese dish or if it's just something they serve me here in Canada, but... Oh, I know, Lesher. I mean, depending on where those bats were from, a lot of different shit in their poop, man. Thank you very much, Chef Life 420. I'm hoping they're up tomorrow. Fuck, I hate how hard it can be to get the coating right. Oh well, thank you very much, Craig Jenkins. It's starting to veg. It's coming in. It's starting to veg out. Not ready for flower yet though. Hey, no worries, Nate Dunn. Happy to be here. That's part of why I do what I do. Part of why I started this channel. So I'm really happy that you're learning and getting excited about growing some shit. Toker 188. Yes, I did know that. I don't remember what the first part of what we were saying is. Refresh my brain, Toker 188. Hillbilly Grower. What is some of the hardest hitting indicas? Haven't grown in years. I started back around 8 months ago, but I'm still not finding anything like what I had years ago. I got forbidden fruit all day, 30 now. Going with Chris, the phenomenon on your NPK. I'll answer that in a second. I'm going to answer Hillbilly Grower's question. Hillbilly Grower, if you're looking for potency, it's always a safe bet to go with old school genetics for sure. Purple Kush is a strong one. Master Kush, which is a blending of two different Burmese Kushes, is really good. Hindu Kush is really good. Big fan of the Hindu myself. Love the Burmeses. Northern Lights is an old-fashioned indica that just kills it from BC here. So keeping it old school in that regard is definitely a good way to go. Anything in the Kush family usually is a fairly safe bet. If you want to go with slightly newer things, Bubba Kush, Death Bubba Kush, Rockstar Kush is a big favorite of people out here because it gets super crystally, is a decent producer, and it has a good wallop to it. Another old school indica, which is what we just grew, is the hash plant. She's a wicked mistress. Yeah, so like any of those would be fairly good. Yes, I am Aussie Big Butts. I'm trying to catch up. Chris the Phenomenon. NPK, what's good for flower ratio? Well, I use a 3-part system. So the NPK on my bloom is 0.54. But I'm still using it in congruency with the micro and the grow. I just put a little bit of my grow in there just for a kiss of it. And then the NPK on this is 501 on the micro. So there we go. Okay, I'm gonna see how much I can catch up here. Aussie Big Buds, unless your water or your medium is like really weird pH, I don't pH for cloning. I just leave it be. How long do I veg my plants for? There is no set time window. I veg my plants till they're the size that I want them to be when I want them to flip. So it's not a time window thing, it's a size thing. Well, are you cloning in water, Rockwool? What are you doing, Aussie Big Buds? What's your water testing at right now? First time experience tamping off, I used red pepper. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not a really huge pH nerd. I only pH when I really need to, or I'm having pH issues, which almost never happens, to be honest. So. Wait, did I forget to autograph it, Richard? I could have sworn I did it. Didn't I do it, Richard? Fuck. Did I forget to autograph that? Fuck, man. I'm sorry. If I forgot to autograph that, Richard, I'm really sorry. I thought I did. Try holding it up in the light, because I did. I would have used a black Sharpie for it. Challenge me 242. Well, thank you very much, Challenge me 242. That's really kind of you. I really appreciate that. No, sticky fingers, it doesn't seem to be, but eventually I'm going to, because people have talked about there's other things that we can do to try to get that, you know what I'm saying? The little squatch is going to go for 230 USD hemp slayer. Yes, Don Hazelhurst, our lights will ship anywhere in the world. Our t-shirts, our hats, our swag, our grinders, our papers when they're in, and any other products that we will eventually be carrying will ship all over the world, unless, for example, certain nutrients and stuff might prove tricky. I'm not sure how certain things work for shipping internationally, but pretty much everything fucking, will be going anywhere, so. Nate Dunn, not a time window on when to flip. I flip when I know they're big enough to what I want. Remember, your stretch is going to be anywhere from 100, it could be a little less. Well, let's go 50 to 300% on your stretch. Stretch doesn't just necessarily mean a vertical stretch. It can be outstretched. It can go all different ways. It's an accumulative percentage on that in terms of where it's growing. But you know what I'm saying? Wait, I missed your question, Aussie Big Buds? Fuck. 1 second. Okay, so I use that. And honestly, so the pH, just keep it at a standard like pH of like 6.3. You'll be fine. Would be my recommendation on that, um, and you'll be okay. Does anyone have experience with the heavy 16 nutrient line? Is it good or bad? Couldn't talk about that one. If anyone else has any experience, please help Eat Chicken out. Smoking Dolato. Nice, Deborah. Kosher Kush and Champion OG are my two favorite indicas I've tried. Those are both very good. I both enjoy Kosher Kush. Um, and there's a vast array of different OGs that are all, as long as they keep it OG-esque in terms of what they taste and smell like, I'm a fan. So, yes, Noob Grower 420. Doing a super soil would be the way to go on an octopot because then all you're having to do is add in the water. But part of the problem with the octopot is since it's watering in through the bottom, no, it might not be an issue though. Because I normally put my super soil pure on the bottom and then I cut it with regular soil more and more as I layer it out to kind of go with the plant's life cycle. But no, that it's definitely a better way to go than the other way. So I would say that'd be awesome. Hillbilly grower, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. For Fammers, I don't know their brand, but if it's anything similar to a King LED, 1200 watt, or a lot of the 1200 watt blurples that are out there in a 4x8 system, not too bad. Not overpowered for sure, but definitely at least a bare minimum for sure. Would do well. Romaine. Oh, hell yeah, Toker 188. Sounds good to me. Chef Life, Paps has been tasting really weird recently. But I do have some of the strong stuff because this stuff still tastes okay. I got a couple of them in there. I've been drinking a lot of Bud Light lately just because a lot of the normal Paps has been tasting a little weird to me. Not to mention, probably not a horrible thing for my waistline. Sorrel Howicks, that's a very good point. A big part of growing in general, especially when it comes to indoors, is patience and doing things at the right time. And then when you do a bunch of stuff, which is obviously causing sort of initial stressors to your plant, give your plant the time to regenerate. No, one sec. I got to shut that door. They will not shut up. Every time I leave the door open, I go outside. They start barking like crazy. So giving the plant sort of time to kind of catch up or come to terms with what you've been playing or doing with it, right, is always beneficial as well. So, what's up, Richard? How you doing? There's been a lot of big lessons I learned the hard way. Sorrel Howicks. I killed the first number of times I tried when I was a kid. So, yes, Chef Life, I am from Canada. Grass in class, typically my veg cycles from when I transplant into my finishing pots are anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks usually, if that helps. But I don't really go by the week. I use the week as more of a guideline, but it's also just paying attention to what I have. I got some of those Afghanis, especially, are almost as tall as I am right now. Yes, Rico Buds. It's all about your trichrome colors. So start watching those trichromes, and you're looking for, if you want the most amount of THC, all milky / cloudy. I prefer to go for like 10 to 20, 30, sometimes 40% ambering trichromes myself. So no worries, Don Hazelhurst. Chef Light 420. I veg under the same amount of light because I find it speeds up the rate at which I'm vegging. So I kind of just hit them the whole time. So that way they're also not in shock when I flip, and they're happy that way. So, oh, I feel you, Deborah. I feel you. It makes sense, girl. Did it work? Was it nice? Did it work out for you? Sorry to say, but if you don't know the flipping rule, then you need to read more. Whoever asked that should know what plants are adapted to growing through spring, autumn, and go by the light schedule.
Willie Glassy. No, that's not true. It's okay if someone doesn't know something. They're allowed to not know things. That's why they're here. That's why this channel exists. There's no such thing as a stupid question. And it could be someone who's tuning in for the very first time who's just curious and they're nervous and they're brave enough to ask a question. So let's not be mean to people like that, okay? Because at the end of the day, everyone has to start somewhere. We all started somewhere, okay? None of us were expert growers or good growers at the beginning. Some of us who are getting there now, okay? We didn't start that way. It took us a long time to get there, okay? So let's not hate on people's want to learn. Let's support it because that's what I'm about. How can you tell how much longer your plant has left till harvest? It's almost at 6 weeks of flower. So 6 weeks of flower. If it's a typical 8 week runner, you're going to start your flush now. 8 to 9 weeks for a lot of indicas is a good time window. That's usually what it takes. But again, just start looking, and over time you will get better at knowing when and what to do. It just takes time, my friend. Okay, so Reverend Veritas, Jake's all-in-one is it's not a technical, even though he had to register it as an insecticide, but biochemically speaking, it is not an insecticide. But anyway, it kills most general pests. It stops powdery mildew and other spores from spreading. It boosts the immune system of your plant naturally. It could be used as a foliar feed, which is part of how it stabilizes the immune system. It can also be used in early flower as a bit of a bud booster to help those nodal sites get kind of bumping, as it were. I mean, eat chicken. Someone said they had a good time with it, so maybe give it a run. Give it a couple of runs. See how it works in your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, Toger 188. I will be releasing videos on that coming up. Both me and Adam Squatch are going to be playing around. I'm teaching him how to do some breeding stuff too. So we're going to be developing a few things for fun. Chef Life 420. Yes, there will be shipping to Cali because they're made in California. So yes, we can definitely ship there, or that'd be really strange. Pot, you still look at cones. Can't you tell if it's done? What? Clones? What? Chef Life, can you explain your question a bit more? I don't think I fully follow it. Hell yeah, Toker. Just be very careful. Remember that pollen gets everywhere. It's lighter and shit, and it gets over everything. So make sure you don't do it anywhere near your flowering room or your vegging room. And make sure you are doing it in a controlled atmosphere. Adam Squatch recently had to harvest some pollen. So what I had him do was take it out to his garage, dry, nice, not humid, let it dry out, put a bunch of paper down because those sacs are going to start opening up as it's drying and releasing pollen. Then you can sweep that up. You put a little container there, and then you can take your fucking branches and you can put it in a big old bag. And shake it around. Just shake it around, and then it's going to release the pollen into that as well. Just be very careful when working with pollen because you can knock your shit up. So be super fucking careful. Deborah, I do a few things. I've got not tons though. I've got a few spices that I grow myself though. Doing my own garden is kind of a new thing. This was the first year for me having even space to do it. I lived in the city for over 20 years, so it took me a while. I'm glad you're liking your new grinder, Peachy. I think they're pretty cool too. I enjoy mine. I've got mine right here on my rolling tray. Oh, the eighth. Oh, hell yeah, Toker 188. That sounds great. Yes, Chef Life. I've just got sort of the standard basics. I've got rosemary, I've got basil, a little dill, mint. Um, Things that typically, when I cook with them, I prefer them to be fresh anyway. I just find their dehydrated counterparts kind of gross. They don't taste right. Some of them, especially like rosemary, dehydrated rosemary. My God, that shit's like fucking inedible. Doesn't matter how much you cook it, that shit's gonna fucking ugh.
Even if you powder, it's a little grainy. But if you use a fresh rosemary, you get that flavor in there. It still breaks down. It's just better.
What's up, Southern California? Tommy Redding wants to see some buds. Yeah, we could do that. Do you have to flush when using organics? Emery, if you were doing like an actual organic grow, technically no. I still do. I think it tastes better even when I'm growing organically to do a flushing period. Um, and yeah, so yeah. So yes, I hope that helps. Well, I feel you, Deborah. 1 second everywhere. Nate Dunn, I don't feed by ppm. The only time I utilize ppm feeding is typically when I'm doing a really, really big run, or if I was running a really big garden. I go old school, so I don't feed by ppm. I know that my water's coming out at 4 out of my reverse osmosis. And then, I go with tablespoons, man, and I've been doing that my whole career. Unless I'm doing like a giant thing where I'm doing a super mix, and then I'll double check that. Especially too, because it's like a bigger scale, so it's a little bit easier there. But even still, then it depends on the nutrient, which ppm you're going to go to, because it's not just how much parts per million are actually present in your feed that's going to cause burning. It's what's in it too, right? Like, I mean, it's not just like you hit this magic number and shit starts burning. No, not necessarily. So. One second here. Try crossing because of pan. Can you tell by now if it's done? Yes, Chef Life, I can easily do that personally. But again, there is no done. There's when you choose for it to be done. There's a big window and a lot of differences of opinion and preference on things. So it's more of a done window where in normal accepted opinions, it could come down there, if that makes sense. Sorrel Howicks, we actually were talking about caterpillars earlier. If you get some praying mantises, find some of those. They'll eat those. But wasps are a natural predator of caterpillars as well. Anyone else who may be on now that wasn't there earlier has anything else to add on that? I've never actually personally had to deal with caterpillars, so I just know what I've read and talked to people about, which is, to be fair, not tons because I've never really had to deal with them, but. Crying owl, maybe eventually one day, but there's not really a point in doing it currently right now because, I mean, I have a house, but I don't really have space to kind of store stuff. Plus, to build in the cost of the light shipping it to Canada from where it's being made to then shipping it out again just doesn't make fiscal sense because it's just going to make it more expensive. So we're trying really hard to keep everything as low as possible. So we're making smart decisions in that regard, if you know what I'm saying. Jaunty, that's more. Yes, if you'd meet my significant other, yes, I love her very much. What kind of training methods do you use? High or low stress? Do you defoliate at any point? Yes, I defoliate throughout the grow. Sometimes I'll do LST. Sometimes I'll monster crop things and let it go like a jungle fuck with just a little bit of defoliation. I sometimes do high stress training where I snap the fuck out of the top of the damn thing. And that sometimes is some of the coolest results I've ever seen is through that, actually. Especially on really indica-laden bushes. Puppies, stop being so excitably fighting each other. But yeah, so I do a little bit of everything. It all depends on my mood on each run. I like to play around. I don't do anything the same way once. I like to play around, keep it fresh, or else I get bored as well. Part of the fun of growing is like learning, experimenting, and fucking around with shit. I'm always making sort of subtle tweaks to shit because, I mean, I don't get better at things or understand things better unless I fuck around with it, right? It's like being a kid, you take something apart and hopefully you can put it back together again. Or else you're going to get yelled at. Anthony Green, I think a lot of people aren't informed on the differences of organic to non-organic and talking about salts and stuff like that. So they are different methodologies and even into how you would implement them. But I still personally, when I'm doing organics, I do like to have a bit of a sort of a flushing concept to it. Sometimes I'm playing around for the last year and a bit with some basic flushing agents actually. Because they're not actually made out of scary things and there's nothing like that. Especially if you're not doing an organic grow. It's kind of like a molecule with water. Let's say it's like an L, right? You get a flushing agent, and then it's like kind of like 4 L's that are stuck together. So there's more arms now scrubbing the capillaries, quote unquote, of the plant, right? And just cleaning it out. So I don't know. Kind of like doing that too. But either way, it's just a style thing too for me, right? I just like having fun with that. Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of been that way, Chef Life, and it has never done me wrong. I know, Deborah. But the cat's not here. He's in his den. He's happy. He's got a movie on or something on the TV at least, so he's happy. 1 second here. Challenge me 242. Curing is there's no set time to curing cannabis. Each strain's different. You can even have different phenotypes of the same strain cure at different rates. Basically, 1 second. Puppies, it's the neighbors. Calm down. Silly puppies. So it's basically, for me, in terms of curing, it's more of like an initial time window of what my burping schedules are like. And then after a point, I just let it sit more and with a lot less burping after certain extended periods of time. So, yeah, it's just kind of learning to get to know your cannabis and what's going to work the best and what you like and what you're going for. It just comes in time. It's like there's not really a good answer to that one. I think it comes with experience and just practice, I guess, if that makes sense. Jesus Christ, you guys are annoying. I'm going outside. Silly puppies.
Stay here, puppies.
Don't speak to me like that. Oh, trippy. My one light's like flicking in and out. Trippy. Wonder what's causing that. It's one of those weird little LED lamps. Well, there you go. One second, everybody. I'm going to catch up in a second. That lamp's just tripped me up. Not necessarily a superstitious man, but a bit of a spiritual one, maybe. And with the dogs just flipping out at like the wall at like nothing there, then this light tripping out all of a sudden is just trippy. I watch a lot of ghost shows. All right, so let's see. That's right. Maybe she could sing an intro, Deborah, for the cooking show. Oh, I feel you, Chef Life. It just gets better in time. So I hope. Oh, right. That's what we're talking about in the curing process. So basically, for the first usually 2 weeks, I'm burping every day. I'm usually either doing 2 half-hour burps, one, and then 1 12 hours later, or I'll do it once a day for 24 or for an hour. You can take them out, move them around, put them back in, being gentle not to disrupt your beautiful, sexy curing trichromes and things. Keep it sexy, right? And then put them back in. After the first 2 weeks, I might kind of switch down to maybe like a third week, 15 to 30 minute burp once a day, unless it's still needing to be burped from what I'm seeing from the first 2 weeks on that, right? And then from there, usually it'll come down to burping every other day. Then from there, I mean, it's just all about a slowly kind of weeding it out time, if that makes sense. Okay, I gotta catch up here. I think I'm really behind. Okay, so 1 second. I'm gonna read fast. Organic super soft, 100% cocoa, 100% perlite. The new flavor I'm working with. Sounds sexy, mongoose. Yep, from your strain. New grower at he's behind fella. Yeah, give me a second. Aliens newbie. Good idea. I'm just gonna go really fast here. Bam, bam. Had the habit. Yeah, I'm just gonna scroll up here and try to keep up. Oh man, I've done a shitty job at keeping up. Okay, everybody, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, I apologize. I'm here now. Ganjanani, your mama. Welcome, my friend. How are you doing, sister? I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the show. What's up, Chip Chip Talks? How's it going? Oh shit! I'm sorry, Chip Chip Talks. What is your email name? Like, is it Chip Chip Talks? Does it say that on the email? I do get a lot of emails, and now with opening the store and all this other stuff, there are more, so I do miss a lot of stuff, but I do my best to keep on top of that. So I will be happy to do that. Adam, I did. I think I caught part of it was like, everyone just remember what you said, and he'll go forward, and then we can go from there again. Okay, Chip Chip Talks. Adam Squatch, remembering the name Chip Chip Talks, and help me to remember to check my email after the show. Please and thank you. I appreciate it. Round of applause for Adam Squatch, who has a better memory than me. Yeah. No, Ganja Nana, your mama. I'm going full wizard now. Growing this motherfucker out just for the hell of it. It's also my new look, so I can't shave it off now. It's what I look like for my acting. Only time I'll shave is if they need me to for a show and they're paying me a decent amount of money, or else I'd rather not shave it off. Oh hell yeah, Cody Monroe, that's awesome. I'm super happy for you. Cody, congratulations. And Chip Chip, okay, cool. So how long ago did you send me that email, Chip Chip? Because that will help me find it too. Yeah, man, Nate Dunn. Temperature this summer was decently bad, but the summer before was really bad. It's really some really hot days, especially for here, and it adds up. I hate the heat. It takes a lot of ACs to overpower that. Yep, Adam Squatch. That's the best part of burping. You get to dance and smell. Makes it fun and sexy. Rick Reyes, we've been battling corrupted coding lines on the back end of the store. I'm not a developer or a programmer or website knowing how to fix our person. So I believe we fixed the corruption. It should hopefully be up tomorrow. That's what I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I feel like a broken record, but it's been a long battle. And just know we're all in the same boat because I'm just as, I'm trying to be patient too. Sorrel Howix, I just came from very hairy people. I had chest hair by the age of 9. Full beard by 11, 6 foot tall at 10. I was a weird freak. My poor mother, man, she must have had a horrible time keeping me in clothes for a very short window, and then I just stopped and I was done. Got it out of the way. But, yep, simply put, I have okay beard genetics. It used to be twice as thick as this, but when I was married the first time and lived in Europe, and I was not very happy, my whole beard through here fell out, bald as a baby's ass. Stress-based alopecia, full-on blown attack. When you're known as Sasquatch, because this is before I started the YouTube, so I was just Sasquatch. Um, and your beard falls out. Well, that's indicative of some bad shit. So you got to stay on top of that, man. Well, Mongoose, it depends on what you mean by wanting of wisdom. If you ask a particular question, maybe I can answer it. What's up, Swiss Deutsch Menschen? Do you speak Swiss Deutsch? There's a couple of languages in Switzerland, though, isn't there? Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Wow. Yeah, Major Lynch, I didn't go bald that quickly. I held on till about, it probably started realistically in my late 20s, but I've got pretty thick hair even still, like with like, because it's only like in the front that it's really kind of gone there, right? But like, I've got thick hair, so I held on for a long time. Then I finally accepted it. Like, I was just in the washroom and I was trying to comb my hair, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I promised myself I would never be someone who like tried to position their hair to compensate for it falling out. So I just started shaving my head. But that was more at the age of like 29 or 30. No, 30? Yeah. Wait. Yeah, 30. Probably about 30 I started doing that. What's up, Virginia? Oh, standing. No, Ganjanana, you're just gonna have to accept that I'm a sexy wizard now. Well, I'm working on the wizard part. I'll get there.
I'm a sexy, balding wizard, man.
No, I just had to accept it because I don't got any hair on my head, and I can't do a bald head or like a shaved head and like go like because I shave it normally. I've just been lazy all week. I've been busy, but without having something on my face, it just freaks me out. I can't do it. Look weird. Freaks me out. I'm like, oh my god, I've got cancer again. Jesus fucking Christ, when did that happen? You know, like, no thanks. Ganjadana, your mama, aren't you on my Facebook? I think I'm still handsome with a beard, thank you very much. I'm a bearded man. It's not for every lady, but some ladies like them. Okay, let's get back to weed titties. Not this sprouting hair titty on my face. Don't worry, Ganjadana, I love you, regardless. I'm sorry I'm not pretty to you anymore. Let's just talk about marijuana, okay? I believe someone a while ago wanted to see weed titties, so yeah, okay, let's do that. Oh my god, I can't believe you said that. I'm fucking with you, by the way, I'm just having fun. Titties. Problem with this fucking thing is it doesn't really seem to focus. Maybe I should flip it around. Focus. Doesn't do anything if I tap the screen. Doesn't seem to have that function. So I'm trying to get like an actual... See, of course, I don't know what a flashlight is, or do I? Yes! Maybe this will help. Shine some light on it, maybe? I don't fucking know. Bloody hell. Come on, you cunt! Son of a bitch. I think the light's too hot. Maybe that is better. Does that help? Oh, I think we almost got it. There. We did it. No! What if I rest my hand, maybe? Please focus. Do your job. God damn it. Some more hash plant titties there. Some very nice hash plant titties. So that's a hash plant titty, everybody. Well, Adam Squatch, one could also argue that being a full noof also just makes you more inbred. But that's just a mean joke. Newfies aren't inbred. Just Careful who you fuck at the pub. It's all. Just fucking around with you. That was more to kick the piss out of Adam there, everybody. So, now we'll try this again here. See if I can get this one to focus. Son of a bitch. Let's try this again. That's the shishka berry. God damn it. Really wish this thing. Sorry, everybody. I'm doing my best here. God damn it. Could you just focus for me for fucking a second? Am I getting it? Looks kind of okay. Well, anyway, I hope we got it for at least a brief second there. Ta-da! I just showed you my tits. Not these, the other ones. Nice. How's it looking, Ken Patchy Sarge? Is she taking well to the prunage? Thank you very much, Andrew Rivers. Much appreciated. Oh, Ken Patchy Sarge, if you can go and get through a successful grow and get something done, even if it's shit, that's your first grow. That's where you start. It's been a long walking journey of me trying to get anything right when it comes to growing. So don't ever beat yourself up about that. We learn from our mistakes. The true grower is a forever student. And, at the same time, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, fact is, don't ever beat yourself up. Because if you fuck up, but you learn from that mistake and then you make tweaks and do a better job next time, that's called growing. Because you're growing too. Damn, right, Romaine? See, you got to start somewhere. You got the trifecta of butt fuck right there. It's like 3 dildos showing up at your sphincter at the same time. Boom! That sucks. Hashtag boom. And not in a good way. That's a bad hashtag boom. But hey, you made it through and you're still here and you're still growing. And that's called hashtag boom. What's up, Blob Jones? I think I've heard good things about GYO seed bank. A lot of people I know have talked about that. If anyone else knows of seed banks on the interweb, feel free to type those for our friend Rick Ray. How do I say it? Rick Ray's? Am I saying that right? I'm supposed to say it different. I don't know. Is it Reyes? Watch, we've actually done this before. And you're like, damn it, every fucking time this prick does this. Can't ever remember how to say my fucking name. Sorry. They did used to be D's. I don't know. I've heard some strange stories about attitude recently, though. Whether they're true or not, I don't know. Just not as great results, not as crazy or as good as it once was. But I don't know if they're true, though. I don't know. Just rumors through the titty vine, Yep. I either spit my beard or that was a little beer. Never know. Let's go with beer. It's conditioning it. Crying owl, not usually. Often, I do it every once in a while. So for the first time in a long time, I don't think I've popped a seed at least a year and a bit on this channel. So I'm going to do some seed pops on the next one. I know I'm definitely going to play around with some Gorilla Blue, which is an invention of a close girlfriend of mine. Her name's Stina. Stina, awesome Stina, down in the States. And, she invented this strain, which I believe, if I'm remembering, is she took blueberry and then crossed that back with a blueberry. And I believe blueberry had blueberry in it. So it's kind of like a double dose of blueberry in there with some Gorilla Glue. So that'll be interesting. I'm kind of curious to see with that. I remember her blueberry that she bred with was very crystally plant, made really crystally nice titties. So I'm excited about that one. And then I'm still debating on the other things. I think I got to definitely do a few things or do one of the ones that my friend Nancy Budwell, she's on the Facebook, grower. I think they're opening actually a hotel in the States or bed and breakfast that's like cannabis themed. I don't know if it's open yet, but maybe one day. But they sent me some stuff they invented. She invented a couple things. One was a Bubba Cherry crossed with Firefly. So I think the Firefly one is from Jinx Proof Genetics, I think is the guy's name. Um, and then it's also AC/DC crossed with Firefly. So I'm curious to do that, given that at least part of it having a component of AC/DC in it is similar to our breeding program that we did on the Sasquatch strain. So that'd be fun. So maybe I'll do a few of those. We do a few of those. Some Gorilla Blues. Maybe I should do the Bubba Cherry from now. See how that one is, Because I'm getting some Death Bubba pollen. So, we could even cross that Bubba Cherry, Firefly cross with some Death Bubba and just make it really weird. Why not? But yeah, so that's a very, very long-winded way of saying yes. I do occasionally crying owl, and I will be doing that fairly soon. AKA, I'll be getting some going for the next experiments, as it were, my friend. Oh yeah, and then so Adam Squatch is going to cross the Death Bubba with the Black Domina. We're going to call that one the Black Death. And then we're going to cross the Violator Kush with Death Bubba. And we're going to call that one Violated Death Kush. Because it's a nutty name and I like it. It's going to be good. I'm going to need to get some Mexican seeds though, Texas Pete, man. Use those as part of it. Don't worry, I will blend that with my other favorite strains to create the Texas Pete. Take a bit of your home and then add a bunch of BC into it. I think it could be beautiful. But I also do love just creating a strain, making the first cross, start stabilizing it, cubing that genetics, and making all decisions, making a list, checking it twice, checking it out. Oh man, you're nice in this way, and you're nice in that way, and fuck, and who's gonna fuck everybody, that's what we gotta find out. Who here is gonna fuck? It's a good time. Oh, no worries, Deborah. Welcome back. We are sorry that your technology was being wonky. Happens to me sometimes too. Nate Dunn, I have already done so. It's called Sasquatch. I just haven't released it because Canada's weird now with our laws. So, but I have created a strain. I spent over 2 years on it. It's called Sasquatch. It's a weird fucking plant, but fucking fire. Beard titties. I already have some ideas of what I could find. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to go searching for certain things to elements to breed in that program. But I have some ideas of how I could make something called beard titties. We'll come up with some beard titties for sure. Hey, Stuart Harper, what's up? No, I'm doing well. Doing well. Trying to make a go of it. Trying to make the dream happen. Doing what I can, man, How you doing, Stuart Harper? New Growth 420. No worries. Sweet dreams, my friend, and rest well, and have a wonderful Monday morning. Peace out, New Growth 420. How many people's connections are going weird right now, and how many ones are doing well. Because where my internet on paper is very powerful out here, I think it's quite good. What do we have here? I think I've got 300 megabit internet out here, but it's out here, and so it doesn't necessarily always do what it's supposed to, and it never is quite as good as it's supposed to be. But it could be mind glitching too, to be fair. But that's why I was asking, like, what's everyone else is doing? You know what I'm saying? All right, so it's just a weird thing. Well, the internet's funny, right? You know, think about this, okay? Okay, we're stoners, so this is where it's marijuana related because we're stoned. At least I'm a little stoned. So think about this, okay? I'm sitting here right now in Canada, in British Columbia, okay? Surrounded by woods. Walk the closest store, walk over an hour each way. Talking into a magical little box device in my hand. And that is now going through the air from here to the local reception tower, up to the satellites, and going through satellites and back down. And then that's coming to you. Or maybe it's not going through satellites. I don't even know how it's getting to the servers. Maybe it's satellites, maybe it's not. I don't know. Do we still have parts that are hardwired? I don't know. But it's just shooting through the fucking thing. And if you think about when we were younger, like, you know, some of us are older than others, obviously. But like, I remember Windows 3.1. I remember the 296 or 86 thing that I could do word processing with as a young kid. Like, and now we have this. People all over the world. And that's why, like, some are having issues because maybe there's a server issue with where you are in the web that is the World Wide Web of servers. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. World's an intense place, man. Well, if you think about, like, the landing computers that were used in the landing modules, we're not going to talk about whether or not they went to the moon, okay? We're going to talk about that there was a module, regardless of what happened, okay? And then we're going to think about how much more power there is in this little cell phone than the computer that was supposed to land on the moon. It's astonishing. It's kind of cool, though. Well, of course, the dark web's always watching. Everything's always watching, but everything's always watching in that there's servers and it's all digital or this or that. And, you know, yeah. One second here. I got to catch up. I'm falling behind again like a dumbass. My first computer was a Timex Sinclair. After that, then came the Commodore 16. See, yeah, you got me beat, Texas Pete. Ah, that rhymed. Okay, so your Nate Duns is coming in okay. My wife said you look like the guys from Duck Dynasty. Oh my god. Just because I have a beard does not mean I'm part of a fake show that is Duck Dynasty. I'm Canadian. It's okay. I'm not actually upset by that. It's just kind of funny. Because you're not the first person to say it. And I'm like, wow, so that's what beards have come to in the world now. You see a beard on a man, and we go to Duck Dynasty now. Adam Squatch, I said we're not debating whether it happened or not. Kenpachi Sarge, you knew it? You knew what? My goodness, my friend. Tell us what you knew. No, Ganjanana. I've been running these especially since I choked these motherfuckers out and kind of busted the crap out of them for 3 months while they were in that tent. And yeah, I rode them basically almost 24 hours a day, a lot. And then they were choking out and root locking. It was an interesting look at them when I transplanted them, and then compare them to like the video I released the other day. You know, they're definitely bouncing back a lot more. But no, I'm going nice in the lab since transplant on them, giving them 18.6 and being nice to them. Hey, man, no worries, fisherman. I'm happy to have helped. When do I get a wrench? I'm chilling and smoking a bowl, watching Pond Squatch. Nothing wrong with that. Well, Kenpachi Sarge, if you're that good with computers, my God, hats off to you. For that is a feat. Do I still look like Duck Dynasty with a Pot Squatch grower's hat on? Haha. Oh, I'm an ACMPR licensed person here. I'm totally legal. My company's a legal company. Everything's above board. I'm not worried about that. That's part of why it's kind of fun. I can just be me, baby. What's up, body so me? I don't understand the characters, but thank you. Maybe it's the same thing. Salute to you too. Yeah. Texas Pete, I'm pretty stoked too. Did you get those measurements for your room so I can start making some sketches on my board for when we have our consult on that? I'm gonna make some designs. And then you can see how horrible at drawing I am. Crying out, yeah, like I make rosin and I hit that. I don't really dab it in a dab rig. I just smoke it in like a little electronic thing because I don't know, man. Dabbing is intense. Actually, Sorrel Howix is funny because my dad's beard goes like down to here. So I was taking my dad to the ZZ Top concert. Was he taking me to this one? I don't know. Whoever bought the tickets to that one bought the tickets. I think he bought those tickets that time. So anyway, we went to go see ZZ Top. But it's funny because before we went, we were sitting at a bar that was fairly close to where they were playing and drinking. And then like this chick comes up to my dad. And she's like, aren't you supposed to be on stage fairly soon? It was really funny. It was really funny. I think the Duck Dynasty stereotype will go away when it gets longer. If it gets longer, then it'll go like Wizard or ZZ Top, I'm hoping. What a dwarf! No, I'm 6'1", but... Oh, Kenpachi Sarge, you're just having fun and being yourself. You're causing no harm, my friend. It is okay. Don't feel bad. It's so okay, man. What did Adam say that we're laughing at? It is kind of funny. King of the Dwarves. Arrgh. Anyway, moving on. Don't have a sword, sadly, or an axe. Well, I got some wood axes, but I don't know if that's quite dwarfish. Oh, sorry, Kenpachi. I'm weird too. Didn't mean to scare you. Oh, did I ever upload that? No, I didn't do it to this YouTube. No. I asked in one live stream if everybody, because I did it for fun. It was just doing the self-tape for fun of the Agent of Chaos fucking speech from The Dark Knight pretending to be the Joker. I didn't do makeup or anything. I was just in costume having fun. But I was going to upload it to people because big part, and that's why it's kind of a lesson. When you're working really hard on your grows and you're doing all that kind of stuff and whatever you're working on in your life, it's important to give yourself breaks. It's important to also let yourself have a little bit of fun every once in a while. It's going to help you not go stark raving mad and just be a happy mad man, lady, Z, or they, or pamplemousse, or pot scotch, whatever you want to call yourself, and do you. So doing little things that you find fun, you should do. So I did sort of last minute a little kind of self-tape thing where I was pretending to be the Joker and blah, 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 and it was good. I had fun with it. I was going to upload it for everybody as a lesson of some lesson number, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just need to have fun. And then upload that for fun, right? But the store's been doing not too bad, slowly but surely picking up. Kind of goes as sales do, up and down, up and down, up and down. But it's been really cool too, though. Like just sort of seeing where everyone is. Like people from all over the world have been ordering stuff. Like it's cool, which I think it kind of made things real for me too, for our community even more so. Just seeing like people around the world ordering stuff, ordering the hats and the shirts for the grinders and stuff, and that was just super cool.
Made things, yes, much more real for me in a sense.
And yeah, I don't know. It's been pretty cool. It's slowly but surely picking up. I like it. It does, Chris, the phenomenon. It does. It takes a very large commitment. It's basically just don't ever fucking touch it. Well, you can touch it, you can brush it. Brushing's important, right? It's good for a healthy beard, but yeah, it is definitely a big commitment. Well, I don't have specific costumes. Well, this one kind of is actually. Mrs. Potsquatch sewed this one. It's kind of like shorts in like a weird, tiny, like purple with like pink pinstripe, kind of almost weird suit. It's like a short suit, like, and I wear it with a purple shirt and stuff. Um, uh, anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted by my own brain. But it was sewn from a woman's skirt suit that I found in a secondhand store. So I went up to my wife. I was like, "Yo, this chick must have played football, but I think I can kind of fit in this. Do you think you could alter this to make it into a Joker costume?" She's like, "Fuck it, yeah, why not? I think there's enough material to do it," and it worked out. So I wore kind of like the top half of that in it because I was shooting it from the waist up, so I didn't really need to show my legs. So. I've had mother plants stay alive for like 6, 7 years. I know people who have mother plants that are like 20, 30 years old. I've heard of older ones. I've only ever met one that was about 30, but Major Lynch, she is definitely very funny. I very much enjoy her sense of humor and what she does. Wow, Srel Howix, it's late. That is late. Yes, Deborah, it's called Dottie Davis. If you don't see her doing covers of Eminem rap songs or other weird things like that, you're at the wrong channel. Yes, grown mother plants that stay along for extended periods of time, one require, well, at least annual maintenance. And in terms of the root ball, you got to take it out and trim it, and that's always a risk. You can lose them at times doing that, but it's kind of just what you have to do. That's why it's always best to like have a bunch of cuttings that have rooted just in case when you do the operation. Worst case scenario. But yeah, the trunk becomes very thick, gets scaly. It ages like a tree. Like, you know how a young tree's one way, and then as it gets older, it looks different? It's kind of like that. Oh, I know, Blob Jones. I sing pot, pot, pot all the time. It gets stuck in my head a lot. It's just fucking catchy. Do, 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 do. I don't know what that is, Adam Squatch. Hell yeah, Bobby Barnes. How's Kentucky doing? Is it a rocking and a rolling? Oh, probably left them outside. Dun, dun, dun. Imagine that. Nice. How are you preparing your eggs, Ken Pachi? Over easy, sunny side up, scrambled, poached, hard boiled. Thinking about what I'm going to munch out later on. Not sure yet. Yeah, Ganjadana, your mama, if it makes you feel any better, I've got another molar back here that I did have a filling in it, but it's all fucked up and it's broken now and it hurts. Like, I'm in a lot of pain, so I'm going to have to get that motherfucker ripped out of my head fairly soon, so. Oh, don't worry, Swell Howix, because Adam Squatch actually just lives in Saskatchewan, so they're going to come for visit. We're going to do some live streams together. We'll make a video or two together. Maybe we'll make one where I beat up Adam Squatch on the thing in the wrestling match. Cause guess what? It's on, man. You want to go, man? I'll take you, man. If you win, good job. But just know I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, why don't you? But yeah, dental work sucks. It's almost impossible for them to freeze my mouth, right? So every time I go to the dentist, it don't work too well. But it's on like Donkey Kong, Adam Squatch. Mr. Joyner. Well, you could technically even just take like an oil, Mr. Joyner, and put it into the whiskey. You're not going to be able to really cook it too much, but you could do it kind of like an old, how the Chinese used to do it is they sort of add it into the alcohol and then they'd cook the jar, but not cook it like it's kind of just warm almost, but it's like barely a simmer, and you could keep it in there, um, with in a sealed container, and then basically then let it sit, and then that would work in my humble 2 cents. Might be a little younger than I am, madam, but I come with a lot of experience. I was a professional dumbass most of my life. Ba-da-ba-ba. I don't even know how a leg wrestle would work. I don't even get what that is. Bobby Barnes, it does have the old school hashy-ish kind of taste, earthen taste to it. There's a lot of other elements to it too. This one came out kind of with this sweetness to it a little bit, um, which typically it always had a sort of a mild secondary sweetness, but it's definitely reminiscent of the old school hashy type flavors to me. Um, and it is old school genetics, so yeah, it was nice. I was surprised by the amount of fruit on this run. But that's part of the great thing with going with LEDs. You're not cooking your terpenes off like with traditional HID as much. So your terps, some of them that might be eliminated when you were kind of cranking under that, kind of survive. And so I am noticing that sometimes I'm finding when I'm growing something again after a really long time, there are these new secondary terpene notes that I'm discovering that are now present because of LEDs that weren't there before. So yeah. Yeah, Deborah should do. See you later, Hemp Slayer. Keep it real, my friend. Well, that's why I would use an oil toker. I wouldn't even use titties. I'd use an oil or a rosin that I'd already had ready to go, and I'd put that in there. That's what I would do. Oh, dude, leg wrestling. I don't know how to do that, but if it's a headbutting competition, watch out. I've got one of the hardest noggins ever in the history of the human race. Ask my wife. PG, I find that it's just typically the light itself. That is something I've only ever really experienced when using a lot of blurple lighting systems and kind of lower end LEDs. I have not found that happening when I switch to using Samsung type diodes, kind of in the 3000 to 3500 Kelvin color. Boom, like that's gone away, and I've just got like solid shank giant everything. Like it's solid through and through from tip to root. Oh shit. Sweet dreams, Adam Squatch. Rest well, buddy. Keep it real, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Adam Squatch. I do sometimes trail hammocks. Sometimes I definitely do that. Sometimes I do that, and then I'll put hash on it, or I'll mix the hash in, or I get creative sometimes. But yeah, I definitely do that. Oh, that's weird, Challenge Me. I squat over 600 pounds, so I should do okay. Without moving any other part of their bodies. Once a player flips, his opponent completely over. The match ends and the winner is declared. Oh yeah, man. Like Srail Havocs, if I do that, then I put some like hash or something into it, like it just burns forever. And then you get or like when I was bomb gripping hash and rosin the other day, it's like hot box. She comes home, she's like, wow. I was like, yeah, I'm playing with the bong. Jabba Joe in the house. What's up, Jabba Joe? Good to see you, my friend. It's been a long time, my friend. It's good to see you. How have you been? Well, a strain that smells like a lemony gas. Okay, well, it's going to have some form of lemon. Lemon has existed in a bunch of different variations over the years. The old school lemon skunk. So I would say it's got a lemony, sativa-y skunk kind of thing going on in it, possibly. Let's see, purpley fade to the leaves. Well, I could have just gotten cold, to be fair, even as hybrid. So it could have been mixed with something else. It's hard. It's really hard to say. All you're going to be able to really know is that it definitely has lineage in sort of the lemon, old school lemon lines, which are typically, through my experience, are found more predominantly in sativa species or races within the species. So, yeah. I don't find OGs get that blow up, Jones. At least the ones I've grown. I've grown a lot of the old school original kind of more lines on it, and OG never had a lemony thing in terms of it. OG has been so overused in breeding programs now that it is hard to find a true straight up OG from the hood days, the OG Kush, which stands for ocean grown, by the way, not original gangster or anything silly like that. That would make sense, Anthony Green, because it sounds like the old school lemon skunk kind of family there. So, nothing wrong with that. I'm still debating on what I should grow for the next one and pop. You know what I'm saying? No worries, Nate Dunn. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for the love, my friend, and good luck with the plans. If you have any questions, shoot some pictures, and I'll do my best to get back to them or to you on them. Much love and rock and roll. Leaves are longer and thinner than others. It definitely sounds like an old school sativa kind of skunk thing to me, Mike. Doctor Who. Dun, 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 dun. I haven't worked on that stupid tattoo in so many years because one, I can't find the artist, and two, I can't afford that habit right now. Wonder where my sonic screwdriver is. Just because someone said Doctor Who, so now that's where my brain is at. Ah, there it is. Right where I left you. Trump to brand a bag of rollies and weed on the ground. There we go. I've got some really rare stuff that I can't really, I don't want to grow it out until I know I'm ready to kind of use it in a breeding program at some point. Got this rare golden indica from like 40 years ago from the Oahu Islands, I think. I think it's from the Oahu Islands of Hawaii, but I'm not sure. A couple of other old things. I'm trying to remember what they were. I've got some old land races in there. A couple of, yeah. I love old genetics, man. It's like today I saw a post in one of the groups on Facebook, and this guy was like, I was clearing out this house, and I found this bag in a bunch of old movies, and it's labeled 1969, and it was just this giant bag of old seeds. And I was like, oh my God, I'd love to find that. Okay, 1 second here. I'm playing catch up, everybody. Aussie big buds, just keep it at like, 6'3" if you're really wanting to. But I mean, unless your water's like super off, I wouldn't worry too much about it personally. Peace out, Deborah, if you're piecing it. Growmain seeds can, if they're properly stored and survive storage, can germinate after thousands of years. They found seeds in canopic jars from ancient Egypt that germinated. So, if properly stored, yeah, seeds can last a long fucking time, yo. Oh. Well, my friends, not saying goodbye just this second, but I think I'm powering down. I think my brain is tired with this really badly infected tooth and the raging headache from it on top of the migraine I actually already live in. I don't think I got much left in me, but we can do a few more questions maybe before I go, and then I think though I must go. Excuse me. Yeah, Anthony Green. I've seen things with really pink pistils. I've seen titties come out pink, deep purples. I've even seen titties come out black, and it wasn't mold. That's just how the plant grew. It was weird. Kind of reminded me of Halloween. It was like black with like really crazy orange hairs. I've seen purple pistils. I've seen a lot of cool shit. It just goes to show you sort of the diversity between the three species of cannabis and all the species families that live within them. I mean, it's so great, and I just love the plant. It's so much fun to play with. Oh, exactly, Israel Howigs. When there's a will, there's a way. No, Bob Jones. If anything, I would probably just keep mine in a fridge usually, or even just keeping them at an even room temperature and airtight stuff would work too. Peace out, Raymond. Much love, my friend. Mr. Splacchiavelli, I'm sorry you're coming in near the end there. I'm kind of gearing up to say goodbye, but welcome, my friend. I love you. Good to see you. In the fridge, not freezer. Yeah, see, that's what I would do. Fridge. Don't freeze those ladies. Don't do anything that's going to try to harm that genetic material. Yeah, the puppies right now in the background are just one's sleeping, the other one's kind of like flipping out on the couch. Not sure what she's doing. I think there's something under the couch she wants, but it's hard to say. All right, my friends. So, does anyone have any final questions before we go? I'm sorry, Mr. Splackyvelli. I hear, though, that sometimes you have to double check to make sure you got notifications turned on for it. I don't know. Check that out, maybe. That might be part of why. But I did have a couple of people too that got like notified way late today. They'd been on the stream for a while, and then they were like, "Yeah, I just got that." Was that you, Sorrel Howix? It may have been you actually. Yeah, worst case scenario, I'll just rip the fucker out of my mouth, Glop Jones. MH23DOO. We're running the Mark 1 chassis setup with V2 boards right now from HLG. Those are each about a 600 watt light. And basically, though, we'll be replacing it with the pot squatch or the lights, which we'll be putting in 4 double squatches. Then those are operating, I believe, on the way I'm going to have them set up is about 620 draw. So I'm going to be rocking 4 620 setups. That 620 setup is comparable to really like, because a lot of people are like, well, this or that. I mean, in the way I would break it down, I would say it's more comparable realistically to like an 8 or a 900 watt HPS in terms of certain key components to it, but it is a vastly better coverage and it's just a better quality of medicine, and I get just the same returns. Like I'm getting the same returns off way less power and even less, slightly less coverage in certain senses with that better par balance on the light. You know, it's going to be kicking. So we're going to take down those HLGs right before we flip, and then we're going to install the new double squatches, and we're gonna rock out the flowering of these plants with the new double squatches and see what happens just for fun. Hey, it's okay. I'm almost done. Okay, I'm almost done. Hey, I'm almost done. You're not in jail. You can come out. You can come out. The door's open. Don't be silly. Bigfoot Forest. President Trump what? Have a wonderful night. Challenge me 242. Ken Patchy Sarge. Peace out, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. Jabba Joe, good to see you. Even if it was for a short time, it was a good time. And we'll talk soon. Toka188, great to see you again. Growmain, great to see you. Anthony Green, glad to talk. Srel Howix, great to talk to you. Ganja none of your mama. Oh, 1 second. Wife's calling. So guess what? I love you all. Peace, everybody. I love you.